Hey guys, I'm getting ready to go live. I'm gonna have it set up here on Instagram, but I'm also gonna be over on my computer doing Facebook Live on my group. So if you see me kind of looking away, you know why. So if you have questions, pop on over to the Facebook group so I can see them, or I'll definitely be getting back to you when I can have the chance to go through and check out through all my I'll respond through my DMs over here on Instagram. So if you want to answer live, pop on over to Facebook, but give me just a moment. We're going to get started on today's first mini training that I'm so excited about. It's called Show Up, Stand Out, and Be Different. And we're going to learn how to start using our social media to turn all of our followers into clients. So bear with me just a moment and we're going to get started. Okay, everyone over here on Facebook. I just got started over here on Instagram and I'm really excited about the training today. Okay, perfect. So we are set up on the training. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and today we're going to be talking about how to use your social media for business. So how to start adding more of it into, turn those followers into clients and how to really just start growing some leads through our efforts. I know social media has been a struggle for me too. I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I have taken several courses on and I really dove into it this summer. I knew that social media is important. It's an important piece to be able to grow my business. So I was like, things have slowed down a little bit this summer. I'm still doing some stuff with my launch, but I knew that I needed to start really honing in on how to really start growing my business and how to really start taking pieces of it offline, online, and moving it offline. So today we're going to talk about how to optimize your profiles, how to capture some leads, some different type of posts that you need to be including, and how to work your DMs a little bit. So grab a pen and paper and let's have a little bit of fun. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to optimize your profile. And one of the best ways to get started with optimizing your profile is making sure that all of your social media pages look the same across the board. So whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, no matter what it is, make sure that you have a headshot that matches all of them. You want to have the same headshot there. Do not use any logos on these pieces. You definitely want to have a headshot. People want to see that it's you. And then when you think about Facebook and Twitter and your LinkedIn, when you're creating your cover image, I want you to create it in a way that people, when they look at it, they quickly know who you are, what you do, and how they can get in contact with you. So you need to have a very clear header image. You don't want something that is just like a picture of a house or just a logo there either. You want to have, some clear call to actions. I have a video over on my Facebook page as my cover image, and it gives information about my Grow, Nurture, Sell program. On Instagram, when you're optimizing there, don't be afraid to use emojis and hashtags. And the one piece that you really want to be strategic with is your link. You get one link on Instagram, and so you want to think about what you want to go there. And the best thing that is going to be on that link is a way to capture leads. So again, if you look on my Instagram account, you're going to see that it leads to a masterclass that I have. So you want to have your link on Instagram as a way to capture leads and just throw those people into a sales funnel. On your Facebook pages, and this can also be used, on any other site or social media platform. But when you're uploading your headshot or your cover image, or even some of those featured images that are just below your headshot on your primary profile, you want to utilize that space with the caption and descriptions and insert another way to capture leads there. So again, if you go look at my pages, you're going to see there's a way to click and opt in to get my content marketing e-guide. So, and I don't know if y'all can hear, we actually have someone, we had a little bit of issues with the house over the weekend, so we're actually having to get some flooring replaced, and we have a gentleman here giving us a quote. So if you hear a little background noise, I apologize. We had to work things in around this, but luckily, fingers crossed, the dog stays quiet. Okay, so hopefully you got all of that with the profile optimization. So just really quickly to recap on that, we want to have a great headshot for your profile image, or your main image. Your cover images need some clear call to actions in a way so you know people know who you are and what you do. Don't use just logos anywhere. You can put your logos on top of an image, but don't have that as like your primary focal point. On Instagram, make sure you're using emojis, get creative, and be strategic with your links. On Instagram, and then on Facebook, when you are looking at uploading your headshot or your cover images, when you have that description in there, when you have, be sure to drop in some links again to capture people's information. If you need some examples, you can definitely look at my Instagram or my Facebook pages. So let's go in a little bit more into lead capture, and we're going to go into a lot more detail about this on August 18th. But when you are capturing leads, you want to send them to a landing page that is going to give them something in return. So we're going to talk more lead magnets here in a few weeks, but when you're capturing leads, just have a way to quickly grab names and emails. As real estate agents, you're probably also going to want to grab their phone numbers, and then you need to have a follow-up in place. So before you start trying to capture a whole bunch of leads, I want you to sit down and think about what is your follow-up plan. Once you have their information, if they're not ready to buy or sell a house right now, what is your plan of attack to be able to start nurturing them? So I want you to think about that as you are growing your leads through social media. The next thing I want to kind of talk about are the different types of postings. So if you're anything like me, sitting down and planning out a content calendar gives you a little bit of anxiety, because you're like, what do I post? How often do I post? What's the best time to post? I want you to just kind of take a deep breath, and I want you to get started with some basics before you go into reading into too much of your analytics and trying to, post at the right time and all that. So let's talk about some different postings that you can include. You're obviously going to have some general real estate information, and that's great information to have. So when people are on your pages, they can get a little bit of education, but I don't want that to be all that you're posting. I want you to think about some different stories that you can tell. Within my Grow, Nurture, Sell program, you are going to see that I offer a lot of prompts on different videos, different photos for you to post, because you can post, this great education content, but that a lot of that information can be found anywhere online. I want you to start thinking of ways that you are different, and why do people enjoy working with you? So as just some helpful ways to get y'all started on some organic content to put out there, here are a few different ideas of postings that you can include. Share your story about how you got into real estate. What made you decide to get in real estate? How long have you been in real estate? Another one that you can do is maybe you had a difficult, not a difficult client, but maybe a difficult situation with the client. They had, and it was a multiple offer situation, and you did X, Y, and Z to help them win the contract as a buyer. Maybe as sellers, you had this buyer come in and you're under contract, but they started wanting all of these changes made to the house, and they were negotiating a lot of repairs. So what did you do to help your client come out still with enough, a lot more money without having to do all of the repairs? So you really want to start thinking about some different individual situations in ways that you've helped people, and that's what's really going to help set you apart. So some other content you really want to think about as you're planning out is engagement. So with engagement postings, what you're trying to do is get your followers to like or comment on there. And so when you're doing that, I want you to have some clear call to actions. Share below what you believe. Double tap if you agree with this statement, stuff like that. You want to have some very clear call to actions, and what you're doing is trying to just get people to engage with you. You're not really looking to necessarily capture information. You're just trying to start some conversations. Some other posts that you're going to want to do is more visibility type postings. And what you're doing with visibility type postings is you're trying to connect with others in your niche. So tag them in your post, whether that is another real estate agent or mortgage person or maybe a home inspector. The goal with this type of post is when you tag them, they either comment on there, which is going to hopefully get your stuff showing up on their page if it's on Facebook. But these are really great in Instagram stories, I'm learning, because a lot of times when you tag someone in your Instagram story, they add it to their story, which is going to then allow their followers to see it as well. And then you're also going to have the promotional post, which is going to be where you're pushing the houses. So what houses do you have for sale, open houses, any closings that you may have. And then the last one is converting leads. So offering, maybe some, that's where you may drop in, what's your home worth, or if you have any other lead magnets, you can drop those in there. And that's where you're trying to capture the leads and convert them onto your email list. So the purpose of social media is to get them off of social media and onto the email list. Because remember, I don't know, for those of you who have seen multiple of my trainings or been on my list for a while, then you know that you can't always rely on social media. You got to get them on your email list. You can, because you have a better chance of really showing up in their inbox and them seeing your stuff on a regular basis. So I briefly touched on the call to actions, but when you're sitting down and writing your content, and guys, hold on just a second on Instagram. Am I still on Facebook? Can y'all still see me on Facebook? I just lost myself and I just want to make sure. Can someone comment on Facebook if y'all can still see me and hear me? I don't know what just happened, but my screen just went blank. Hold on one second, Instagram. I've never had this happen before. Okay, I'm hoping I'm still live over there. We'll find out. Okay, so I briefly touched on the call to actions a few minutes ago, but really think about what you want your followers to do when you're putting something out there. Comment below, maybe share your answer, double tap, whether you want them to like it or heart it on Instagram. Share. So maybe sometimes you want to do a giveaway and so you can get people to kind of share your stuff. I know sometimes I'll do some giveaways where if people share, they can get coffee or, do a free session with me or something like that. The next piece I want to touch on is direct messaging. And this is another piece that I'm still learning to get more comfortable with. But let's be honest, as business owners, we have to get uncomfortable to kind of grow. So as you're growing your following, I want you to remember, I want you to try to DM any new followers that you get. Again, you're gonna wanna have a plan in place to get them off of the social media platform and onto your email list, but don't go in with like this templated, and hold on just a second, they did lose me over there. So I'm gonna try to just start it over. Give me just a second, guys. It's always something that goes wrong, right? The first time you try to do a nice little training. So we're just gonna pick up where I left off over here, but let me get the live started again. Okay, I think I'm back over there on live on Facebook, so we'll get them checked out here in just a moment. But as you're growing your followers, make sure you're sending out some direct messages and have something in place to move them off of your social media platform and onto your email list, and you don't want it to be too templated as you are sending things. Start a conversation. The one that I typically use is just, hey, thanks for the follow. Tell me a little bit about your business. I don't go into it trying to sell, and maybe everyone who follows me is not going to be a good fit for me. So I don't try to move everybody off, but I try to at least get a conversation started privately with them. And I just recently took a training with Elise Damer on Instagram, and I'm going to share a little tidbit that I learned in there. To get people with Instagram and Facebook into your DMs, do polls. This is a great tip that I picked up that I'm going to start trying to implement. I haven't done it yet, just learned it. But with polls, you can add in the option that says, yes, send this to me. So you can get people to say, yeah, I want whatever it is you're offering, and be able to send it over to them through the direct message. But as you're growing, I know it's going to get a lot harder to message everybody. So when you do get new followers, kind of take a look at their profile for a second first, see if it's someone that you think would be a good fit for your business, and then maybe send them a message. The biggest thing I want you to, all to remember as some takeaways is, remember, this is social media. So we need to interact with those people if we want them to become clients and eventually, we have to interact with them if we want them to become leads and then eventually become clients. So you don't go into this thinking, oh, I could just post and people are going to want to work with me. You've got to interact with them too. So even if it's just 15 minutes a day, block out some time to really just get on there and interact with some people, comment, and really start some conversations. Remember to be yourself. The more authentic you are, the more you'll attract the people that you enjoy working with. We all know that not everyone that we cross paths with is going to be a good fit for our business, and that's okay. One of my business coaches told me it's not about selling, it's about sorting. So we want to sort out the people that are going to be a great fit for our business and let go of the ones who aren't. So don't, as the more you are authentic, the more you're going to find people that have, the same values of you and the same hobbies as you. Be consistent. If you really were to sit down and look at what a lot of the experts say, they say, you're supposed to be posting 3 times a day on Instagram and 4 times a day on Facebook. And I think I heard one time that you're supposed to post like 20 times a day on Twitter. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have time for that. And I don't know if I can always come up with that many different ideas on what to post and when. And so right now, as you're getting started and adding in social media to your business, I want you to kind of say, okay, I'm going to commit to posting this many times a week, and I'm going to post on these days, and just stick to it. The more consistent you get, the easier it'll be to start showing up on a regular basis. So all this to say, I am currently going through this training with Tarzan Kay, who is an amazing copywriter, and I'm so lucky to have the opportunity to learn from her. And in a training that I had with her last week, she said something that really stuck with me, and it's really made me switch the way that I've been thinking. I have always, kind of worked my business and said, the money is in the list. We got to get people onto the list. And while she doesn't disagree with that, she wants you to look at it in a different way. The money is not in the list. The money is in the relationship you have with the list. And that's not just for email marketing. That goes with your social media following as well. It doesn't matter how many followers you have on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media platform you prefer. So you could have 1,000 people and be converting at 50%, which is a whole lot better than someone who has 10,000 people and only converting at 0.5%. So really take a step back and focus not so much on the vanity metrics, which would be the number of followers that you have, but focus on how much engagement you're getting and how easy it has been for you to create more of a relationship with the people you have. So that is today's training, and I'm so sorry that those of you that are on Facebook have had some issues with my camera. I'm not 100% sure what's been going on, but I will check it out and do a follow-up video over there if I need to. Instagram, thank you all so much for being on there. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them below. I can either answer them, or if you want to shoot me a message with those questions, I can definitely answer them there. But I really hope everyone was able to pull something out of this training on how to start just showing up, which is going to help you get, start being more consistent. So we want to show up, we want to stand out, and we want to be different. So as you're planning out your content, I really want you to start thinking of some ways that what makes you a different agent, how do you help your niche, and really just start being yourself. Don't be afraid to put some personal information out there and just have a little fun with it, because the more fun we can have in our businesses, the better we all are. So thank you all for showing up. So over here we got, and let's see, we have Arnold, and we have Real Property Specialist and we have North Texas Lifestyle, Patty, Ileana, thank you all so much. Robin on Facebook, thank you so much for showing up. If y'all have any other questions, again, just drop them below. And I will see you all here next week with another live, and hopefully Facebook doesn't give me problems. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.